Hey, welcome to another week of the Inimitable Black Woman. I'm really happy you're back, y'all. I'm so hungry right now, but I had to bring you another one. I'm sorry, that made me so happy. But yeah, I had to finish this podcast first, but as soon as this podcast is over, I'm gonna go and eat me some soup. But that's gonna have to wait because I gotta do this intro and then I have to do an outro. This week I interviewed my really good friend Alexis, and I'm so happy that y'all get to meet her, and she's being all transparent and vulnerable, which she would never do. And she's probably listening to this right now and shaking her head and go, yeah, the only reason I did it is because I got tricked. She didn't get tricked. Let me say that first. She didn't get tricked, but she probably felt more open because she was talking to me, because I know if she was talking to you, she wouldn't say shit. But with me, she will say some shit. Yeah. Oh, there's cussing this episode if you can't tell. There's cussing every episode, so who cares? Anyway, I cannot wait for you to hear this and to hear her, and you're gonna laugh, and it's a good time. It's a good time. So take a listen. What's your name?
Alexis.
Where are you from?
I am from Dallas, Texas.
Okay, because I know you. We're specifically in Dallas.
So I spent most of my childhood in Oak Cliff, and then when I became a teenager, I was like 12 or 13, we moved to DeSoto, and that's where I graduated high school.
All right. What's Oak Cliff like?
Oak Cliff, well, for me, I don't know how to explain it right now. It's being gentrified, so it's like a whole new place, right? But where I came from, which is Singing Hills, that neighborhood, it's very black, if it's still that way. It's very proud, and it's just, it was a community. So everybody knew everybody's business, and, you know, you hang out with your neighbors, and it was cool.
What do you mean by proud?
So, I didn't know until I moved to DeSoto that there were schools that didn't have Black History programs, that didn't teach Black History as though it was regular history, like it was just a part of the curriculum. We had people come talk to us about our hair, and we would dress up in African garb. Like, all this was when I was in elementary school. I didn't get none of that in DeSoto.
Do you feel like that upbringing has affected how you see yourself as an adult, or as you were growing into a grown woman?
As an adult, definitely. And I feel really blessed and privileged, really, to be in an environment where me being Black is not something I should be ashamed of or feel some type of way of. I'm 100% comfortable in my Blackness and around Black people. And there are Black people that are adults now that don't feel that way. And I used to judge them until I got over myself and realized, you have privilege. You grew up with a bunch of people and teachers that look like you and telling you you're smart, you're beautiful, you're this and you're that. I don't know, I feel privileged. Yeah.
What are your friends like who didn't grow up with that? Like me?
Sometimes I feel like I don't understand you. Some things that you've gone through, we've both had this, where people say ignorant things about your Blackness, and it makes you feel a type of way. But for me, it makes me think that other person is stupid. And that's what I go with. Oh, you're stupid. You're saying, I'm not Black enough, but you don't know anything about me. So you're just a dumb person, right? But some people take that to heart. It scars them and it wounds them, and they still have it. They're holding on to people who said I wasn't this enough or I wasn't that enough. And that is kind of heartbreaking for me. Not only do they feel hurt by it, but they judge other Black people too, because of what somebody, when you're in high school, somebody said something about you and you're holding on to it, and you're thinking all Black people are going to judge you in that way, and that's just not the truth. Or you're scared to be around other Black people, or I'm not talking about you specifically, I'm just throwing stuff out there.
I'm coming to you as a neutral party,
okay.
Even though you know me.
It's a little awkward, right?
I mean, it's fine. It's fine
okay.
for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
So another thing I've noticed is some people tend to revel in their otherness as a Black person. I'm the only Black person that does this, or I only see white people when I do that. And, that's real irritating to me. It's like you get off on being the only Black person. You want to pretend oh, I wish there were more of us, but you really don't feel that way. And it's not everyone, but I can tell when that is in there, and that's irritating.
Why do you think they revel in it?
Because everybody wants to be special, right?
What's your middle name?
My middle name is Nicole.
Nicole. How did they get your name?
My aunt, I think she wanted to name me Charlie, and that was vetoed. My dad wanted to name me Davida. My dad's name is David. Vetoed. My mom wanted to name me Diarce. Vetoed. And I tell people I was named after Alexis Carrington from Dynasty. False. My mom used to work at a birth certificate place, and she saw the name Alexis and thought it was cute. And it's not special.
What about Nicole?
Nicole, that's just that black girl middle name. Dominique's middle name is Nicole. Denise is one of them black girl middle names too. I have my aunt Karen Denise. Yeah.
Denise is my middle name, and Alexis.
Oh yeah, I snuck that.
That's why she pulled that out. So Alexis, would you say you're a private person?
Yeah, very. It's like a stretch for me to be even talking about my mom or Oak Cliff or anything. Yeah.
Why are you private?
That's a really good question. I have no clue. Like, I don't have many secrets. You can ask me something and I'll tell you, but why would I tell someone I didn't know on the level that I know you? It just doesn't make sense to me. Like, I admire people that are open, because I'm like, how do you do that? Even people who can just do small talk, because I don't understand why we're talking if we don't have anything to talk about yet. And some people can just do small talk. Some people can just open up just like that. And I'm like, that's cool. But I don't want to do that. I just think it's cool.
Have you always been that way?
I think so. Hold on, wait. Let me think about that. I think I became that way when I moved to DeSoto. That was a shock for me. Moving to DeSoto was like traumatizing for me. And it kind of changed my entire personality, if you can believe that.
How did it change it?
I used to be a lot friendlier, I would say. And I still have that memory of me like making friends immediately when I started school in DeSoto, and then telling people where I came from, and them saying like, oh, I don't want to see you when you get mad. Or I would be like, yeah, I was in show choir. And they'd be like, so what did you sing, like Master P songs? Like, Master P was lit in 99.
Master P's still lit.
Well, sure. I mean, okay.
But he was number one at the time when they were like, girl, y'all sing Master P songs.
That's how you know this story is legit, because Master P, like, why would I just come up with that?
For people who don't know, what is the perception that people had of Oak Cliff to have them react like that? And also the people that were reacting like that. I'm curious, because DeSoto's changed and like,
oh, definitely,
in the makeup of the people. So at the time, the people that were saying that to you, what did they look like, and what was the stereotype?
Oh, they were all black. And the stereotype is that Oak Cliff is dangerous and Oak Cliff is hood, which it can be. Some parts could be dangerous, some parts could be really hood. And what's really interesting, well, something I noticed as a kid that I find hilarious as an adult, is that everybody wants to be hood, but don't nobody want to be from the hood.
Do you think the reaction that people from DeSoto who were black people, how they reacted to you, what do you think that's about, right? Because you would think they meet someone else black and you would just like include you, but instead they made you feel excluded as a black person.
I don't know, but what I should have done is like capitalized on that and just like became a bully and like ran DeSoto. If I knew then what I know now, yeah, why wouldn't I?
You just
high school. Them kids. Fuck them kids. It's high school. High school and middle school is so dumb. And we've talked about this before. But I had my bully years. They were short-lived, just like my class clown years.
Okay, what were your bully years like?
There was this one girl whose dad worked for Coca-Cola. So I made her bring me Powerade every day. And I was like, if you don't bring Powerade, I'm going to pinch you. And I would legit, like, pinch that girl. Like, that's fucked up. I should have got my ass whipped. She, like, transferred schools, and then she came back in 6th grade. And I was like, yo, where my Coke at? And she was like, I'm not bringing you Coke anymore. And then I couldn't do nothing. Because was I going to beat her up? I didn't beat her up.
Okay, what were your class clown days?
You know this story.
I don't.
The Unity story?
This is, like, my favorite story. It has come up at least 6 times throughout the So, background, me and Alexis have known each other since
8th grade?
8th grade, but we became friends probably our senior year.
I mean, like we had theater class together.
But we became friends.
I mean, like, I knew you.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so we became friends probably senior year because we were on the drill team together.
Oh, yeah.
But we didn't know of each other from theater.
And I was actually friends with, like, your stepsister. And I didn't even know y'all was stepsisters.
Yeah, my stepsister didn't know we were stepsisters. So, hey, you guys have something in common. Yeah. That's real. Please tell my favorite spelling bee story of you during your clown days.
So I was like legit killing it on the spelling bee. I was about to win. The final word was unity, and it was my turn, and I knew I was about to take it. So I thought it would be really cute to sing the Queen Latifah song. So I spelled it. You're supposed to spell out the word, say it, and then spell it again. I spelled out unity, and then I sang UNITY, and the class went like crazy, and I was standing there with this shit-eating grin, or how do you say it?
Shit-eating grin. Shit-eating grin.
Shit-eating grin. Why can't I say it together?
Mm-hmm.
I was
looking like
I had a smirk on my face.
There we go.
I was real pleased with myself, and I was like unity, and then I sang it out. And then I was just standing there waiting for them to give me my little medal or whatever. And then I was disqualified. And it was really embarrassing. It was actually humiliating.
Did they yell, like, disqualified on the mic?
No. They were just like, you know, I'm doing a hand motion that can't nobody see.
They did, like, the cutthroat?
Yeah. They were like, the teachers were like talking to each other like, and then and then they gave it to the other girl. And I remember her name. Her name was Brittany. And she won.
We should slash her tires.
I mean, I don't know her last name. How am I going to find her? She was really smart, too. I mean, she was in the math club.
I didn't really want to slash her tires.
I mean, we could have.
Oh.
She's probably a doctor now. She did something with herself. But, yeah, so I was disqualified. And then, you know how kids are. They were like, oh, hey. Like, real crunk about me being disqualified, too.
Aw,
traitors.
Dang.
Traitors.
They were happy for they were keying with you when it was funny, and then...
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah.
Is there a story I haven't heard about your rebellious childhood phases?
I don't know how riveting this is, and it wasn't rebellious, but did I ever tell you that I used to charge people to, like, be in the friendship club?
No.
When I was, like, in the 5th grade, I legit charged people money to sit at my table during lunch. And, like, they would pay me every week. And then I was like, Summer will take the money. My friend Summer from Girl Scouts. And, yeah, she was in my 5th grade class. Anyway, I was like, Summer will take the money. And at the end of the week, we would have, like, this caboodle full of money. And we'd be like, we'll buy something with it. But then Summer ended up, like, transferring schools. And she took all the money with her. And she ordered a bunch of cookies and stuff and never paid the cookie leader. I don't know what the Girl Scout, the troop leader. It's been a while since I've been in Girl Scouts. I would just do little obnoxious things like that I, as an adult, can't believe I did. You can sit with me, but it'll be like $1 a day or whatever the hell lunch costs. It was like...
This is why you were friends with my stepsister.
Probably. But I got humbled really fast when I moved to DeSoto. It really was traumatic for me. Because I went from, you know, being in an environment that I had been since kindergarten, from K through 6. That's a really long time to get to know everyone and everybody. And, like, my brother went to school there, and I danced, and I was in Girl Scouts, and I was in Spanish Club, and all this stuff. So I, like, in my head, I was the shit. Never got a B. I did get a B once, and my parents pulled me out of that teacher's class. That was in 4th grade. Miss Dela Cruz.
Why'd they pull you out of her class?
Because I got a B.
Where do they take you when they pull you out of the class?
They pulled me out of her class, and I went to another teacher's class. And the principal was cool with it, because sometimes I would go to her church on Sundays and sit next to her.
Oh my gosh.
Dr. Jones. I was the worst. One time I got into a literal fist fight with my best friend, Arturia. And she was one of those kids that got a nosebleed easily. So I clocked her in the nose, and of course it bled. And it's not because I was so tough or anything. It was just because she got really bad nosebleeds all the time. So I clocked her, and her face was all bleeding. And we got sent to the principal's office. And then once we got there, I just started bawling. I was like, okay. I started crying. And I was like, I'm so sorry, Dr. Jones. And she was like, you guys are best friends. I can't believe this is happening. You snuggle up to me at church. And I was like, I know. And then she just sent us out her office without us getting in trouble. And that was because I sucked up so bad. So anyways, that's the type of kid I was. I don't know how to explain it.
So what was life for you like at DeSoto? What changed dramatically?
Everyone not knowing me. That was a new feeling for me. Like being anonymous. That was scary. Just people not being friendly to me. I wasn't used to that either. That was traumatic too. Like I remember like making a joke with this one girl and she was like, I don't know you, don't talk to me. And I was like, what the fuck? Like people talk to each other like that? That's weird. Also going to school with white kids. I had never gone to school with white kids before. And before DeSoto became the way it is now, it was half and half. And that was traumatic for me because I didn't understand white kids. I had never been to school with them. My teachers were mostly black growing up, and that wasn't the case in DeSoto. It was like a culture shock. Yeah, it was weird.
What were the white people like?
I didn't pay attention to them. I didn't get them. I just didn't. Hold on, that's a lie. I did pay attention to them, but I didn't get them. I don't know how to explain it, but they weren't like the kids that I grew up with. They talked different. They used to make their own colognes in the lockers and stuff. It was just weird.
Did you just get a hick accent?
Did I?
Yes.
When I think about white people, do I start talking to them like a hick?
I don't know, but you totally go, they talk different.
Oh, shit. I did not. That is rude.
But is that how they... But
no,
low-key.
That's not how
Is that how they talked at DeSoto?
No. I don't know why. That's so rude. I can't believe I did that.
I think you did. I heard they talk differently.
I don't think I did that.
It was a little Forrest Gumpy.
Damn, they didn't talk like that.
Well, you know what? The tape will tell us.
Yeah, they were just different. I don't know how to explain it, but I didn't feel comfortable. I remember one white boy asking me if my nipples were brown. Like, shit like that. It was just weird.
That is weird.
I know.
And inappropriate.
Very. I mean, but he was a 7th grade boy, so.
What do you think is the most surprising thing for people to learn about you?
Okay, that's a really good question. It depends on who you ask. I don't think my parents are ever surprised by anything I do. They think I'm very weird and they're like cool with it. I don't know. That's a really good question. I'm going to think about that and then I'll tell you in a bit.
Well, we can sit here and be quiet. I cut out dead air.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, so just think about it.
Surprising thing about me. I think I'm so boring.
Do you really?
Yeah, I do.
Why do you think you're boring?
Because I feel like I'm always doing stuff. I just feel like I do really run-of-the-mill stuff. Like I feel like I'm always working, or if I'm not working for money, I'm working for somebody else, writing something for somebody or reading over something for somebody. Like, but I don't feel like I'm doing anything exceptional.
What would be exceptional?
That's a good question. What do normal people do in their free time?
You the one talking about
like
you
karaoke
normal?
And all that stuff. Like I don't be doing that shit.
You think that's exceptional?
I think having those hobbies are outside of yourself that are just, oh, let me just go have fun. I think that's exceptional because my hobbies and the things that I'm passionate about are really excruciating. Dance is excruciating for me. Before any of my classes, I either go outside to puke or cry. And those are the only 2 options. But karaoke, if I was really into karaoke, would I be puking or crying before I got on stage? Like, I wouldn't. Because it's just freedom and it's not excruciating. It's not painful at all.
What other hobbies would you say that you have that are excruciating?
Painting. Like, I really love painting, but even though I finished that one over New Year's, like, I got started on it before then. It was something else before. You probably saw what it was before, and it was hanging up here for, like, months before I changed it again. And nothing is ever really finished. Ever. Except for that one. But I have, like, some half-done paintings in my room.
What makes it excruciating for you?
Because I want it to look the way I want it to look, and I never know how I want it to look. So I'll just keep going and going and going until it looks like, okay, this is presentable to me. Otherwise, it gets hidden in my room. So dramatic. This is dead air, right? Like, you're not using this.
What do you mean?
This part.
Yes, I'm gonna use this part.
Why are you using this part?
This is like so interesting.
It's so personal.
I do an interview. Have you listened to any of my interviews? My God, Alexis, what the fuck do you think this is?
Well, I thought we were just talking.
Dead air means don't talk.
Because you said.
I said I'll cut out dead air. That means,
so
you know,
I thought
this is dead air.
Shut up, man. No, I thought you were like gonna tell me once we started filming again or whatever.
Baby, I'm always recording.
Dude, okay, sure. As long as you add this caveat that I thought I was talking.
You know what I'll do?
You.
Do you? What are you afraid of?
Well, being vulnerable, dude. What the fuck?
What's the worst that could happen if you're vulnerable?
That's a really good question. I'll talk to my therapist about it.
I hate you.
You can leave that in if you want to. Yo, use whatever you want to use. It's your shit. I agreed. I just thought we were just talking.
We are just talking.
No, I thought I was like talking to my friend.
You are talking to your friend.
That's cool. Fine.
You know, for someone who's boring, you're pretty interesting.
I don't think so at all.
What do you think about stan culture?
I think it's interesting. I think it's weird. And I say that as someone that participates in it a little bit. But I don't take what artists show us seriously. And I don't take their art literally. So I'm hardly ever emotionally invested. I'm not invested in celeb culture at all, even though I can read a bunch of it. But if somebody wants to talk to me about it, I'd be like, ooh, do we have to do this? Can you tell me something else? I'm definitely what you would call a Prince stan. I think he's really interesting. I think he's clearly a genius. And when people don't like him, I don't understand them. Like, I don't get it. I just feel like there's something missing from their lives. But I don't take it personal. I just feel bad for them, right? Like Nicki Minaj stands and how they like attack people and how that one guy stabbed somebody over Beyonce. Have you heard this story?
No.
Like he was talking to someone who didn't know Beyonce was married to Jay-Z, so he stabbed the person. Stan culture can be really toxic, but also it's fun to participate. Like I enjoy being a Prince stan because it's fun. And I personally find him interesting, so any excuse to like read about him or tell people facts that they don't care about him, like I revel in that opportunity to do that.
So you and I are friends.
We are.
Do you feel like there's an element of you I don't know?
Probably. You know, I like to dance. You know, I like Prince. You know, I like Drake.
Yeah, everyone knows that though. That's on your Instagram.
Did you know I like to paint?
Yeah, I knew that.
Okay.
We're surrounded by paintings you did.
Sure. I don't think I talked to you about my romantic life much. I would tell you the bad stuff or the ridiculous stuff, but if it's just some guy I'm dating, then, I mean, does he need to come with fanfare? Because he's, you know, he's not special yet, right?
What makes a guy special?
If I bring him around, right? My parents just celebrated their 30th anniversary this year, and I've noticed from watching them, they don't talk about their relationship with anyone. They don't talk about their problems with anyone but each other, and I think that's really healthy. And I don't think it's anybody's business, and I think that's why they're so strong. I don't know what they did before I was born. So I don't know if my mom used to badmouth him or he used to badmouth my mom or whatever the heck. I just know when I was old enough to recognize it, they didn't. But I know a lot of my aunts and uncles' business and all this stuff, and when they're fighting and all that. But you would never know when my parents are fighting. Like, you would have to be in the house with them in the middle of a fight to ever know that they even argue. Just watching them and how they are with each other and how healthy that is, that's something I want for myself. So if it is something serious, I mean, if I'm having issues, why not talk to the person I'm having the issues with? as opposed to getting outside counsel.
What do you think defines a friendship?
Trust, right? And I want to say someone you can be yourself completely with, but that's something I struggle with still, like opening up. Yeah, so that's my goal. And respecting each other's boundaries. That's a really big deal.
Have you had friendships that don't fall into that you had for a while?
Yeah.
Well, what was it that, like, kept you in it?
What kept me in it? Mainly history. Because my good friends I've had for a very long time. Yeah, I don't know if that's the smartest thing, but definitely history keeps me tied to certain people. And then adjusting my expectations for people, and that I don't have them anymore. Like, I used to have expectations for my friends, and I would assume, you know, if I reach out to you that you're going to do the same for me or whatever. And I stopped worrying about reciprocity and just started accepting people for exactly where they are and how they are. And it's made me such a happier person. And those friendships may not be as tight as they used to be, but I don't really need that anymore. Like, I just need them to be exactly who they are. And as long as we still get along when we do talk, then that's cool.
If you had the attention of the entire world, what would you say?
Oh gosh. I would not say anything, to be honest. I would probably make it weird. I would probably do like a dance move and then run away.
All right. What do you think is the biggest misconception about Black women?
That we're superhuman. And I mean that physically as well as emotionally and mentally. Like, I don't think we're superhuman. We are human. I'll give you an example. Like, even in the workplace, I've been in many places where I'm not only the only Black person in my department, but before I moved to Austin, that engineering firm, I was literally the only Black person in the company. And so our office was really small and we didn't have an IT. So I did everything around the office, even though I was the marketing specialist. I would have to get stuff out of my boss's trunk. I would have to hook up these grown men's like computer monitors and all this stuff. And our dress code was really strict and we didn't have like casual Friday. So I would be there in like a dress suit and stilettos, crawling under these grown men's desk and hooking up their computers and shit like that. And it's like, wow, like, do you not see me? Like, I am strong, I'm tall, and I've got broad shoulders. But it doesn't matter. Like, I shouldn't have to be the man of the office.
Alexis is super fine. She is all woman. She's a brick house. There's no confusing that this heifer ain't a boss bitch.
Strong. Either way, like, don't treat me like I'm a freaking mule. Like, I had gotten tired of that. So I was like, okay, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm not going to be your superhuman strength person. I didn't last a year at that job anyway. And I left to move to Austin. And the guy, like, my boss did not want me to leave. He made it really weird for me. And he was still texting me after I left. But anyways, so I would be really dramatic. One day I lifted something and my back hurt. So I left for the rest of the day. And then the next morning I went to a chiropractor. And then I just strolled in. I didn't tell him anything. I just strolled in at work at like 11 o'clock. And I was like, yeah, I really hurt my back yesterday. I don't think I can move those boxes anymore. Or one time he had me move stuff. So I came to work in my yoga gear, even though it was a suit and tie environment, just to show like, hey, look at what you're doing. And of course it went on deaf ears because he didn't care. But my hope was that the next time they get a woman in, especially if she's a Black woman, that they don't have her lifting boxes and stuff out the car and hooking up people's computers, and that they have her do the job that she was actually hired to do, which was marketing. I was a marketing girl. And I was basically the office mule. So hopefully me showing my ass like helped the next Black woman. But that takes me to my point that we're not superhuman. Like, we're still human. We still feel. We're still soft. We're strong, but we're very soft. And, you know, you should treat us that way or see us that way.
I love Alexis. That interview was so fun. You know, one thing I can say about my friends, they're fun. Like, they really are. They're fun. and they're crazy and they're just special. And they have these beautiful thoughts. Every week, I am just honestly so blown away by the person I'm interviewing. I have not encountered one girl during an interview where I was like, oh, this is gonna be bad. Everyone always is so different and has something new that I didn't even expect. We're all just so unique. That is the point of this podcast, man, is to expose us to each other and how amazing and beautiful we are inside. Oh, man, Black women, you killing it. So yes, Alexis is great, and she also teaches a dance class out here in Austin at Danceversity. So I would tell you this. If you're in Austin and you want to dance, go run and take a dance class with her. Her IG will be in the notes, but also it is Pink Sneakers. That is PANKSNEAKERS. I like to say I was in a spelling bee once, but I got eliminated in the first round, so whatever. Other than that, as always, if you love this episode, please rate, comment, subscribe, share, post. Please post. The way that I'm getting the word about this is just like people I encounter. So anytime you post and you share about it, it really helps me out and I appreciate it. If you have any comments, email me at theinimitable.bw@gmail.com. That is also the tag for our Instagram. It's theinimitable.bw. And yeah, we'll have a new interview, not the next week, but the week after on Thursday. And I love you. Thank you for coming. Lexi, do you love me? Is you riding? You know, I don't know the words that well. Bye, y'all.